What's up, everybody? I'm Chase Lee, and welcome to another movie review, and that movie would be The Frontrunner. Now, this one comes from Sony Pictures, and it is directed and co-written by Jason Reitman, and it stars Hugh Jackman, Vera Farmiga, J.K. Simmons, as among, one of the best supporting casts I've seen in a movie in quite some time. And this one tells the story of American Senator Gary Hart in the 1988 presidential election, and his campaign is kind of derailed a little bit because he is caught in an affair, and the tabloids run within and just take him down, and he did not become president, even though he was the front runner to do so. So there's the title of the movie. And so, going into this movie, I was expecting a lot just because I'm a fan of Jason Reitman's work with Up in the Air, or even something like A Young Adult, Juno, or, I'm one of the weird ones that likes men, women, and children. So you never know nowadays with Jason Reitman, but when he hits, he really hits, just really capturing the kind of raw, genuine kind of human stories that we can all just kind of grasp onto and really kind of connect with. And so that's kind of his staple. And so I saw the trailers to it. I liked what I saw, but then I heard mixed things from film festivals, and so I finally saw it, and it's whatever. There's some major issues with it, but I do think it's not a complete failure like someone or people out there that are making it out to be. I do find some type of redemption for it, but it's not much. But so here's how I'm going to break this down. Jason Reitman, he wanted to tell this story, which on its surface, if you don't know anything about this story, it can seem interesting, and that interest will compel you to watch the entire thing and really just kind of see where it goes, even though if you know the outcome or if you don't know the outcome, it's interesting to watch. And Reitman does bring up some aspects about the press and how the press treats their presidential candidates in these races. Like, what should you dig up? What should you not? Is it moral to, talk about the affair? Is it not? Let's talk about the policies, all that. All that is brought up in a movie to where it is skimmed across the surface, but it's not really explored enough because the filmmaking, in terms of the cinematography and the editing and even the dialogue to some degree, the movie wants you to feel urgent about the subject matter, and Reitman's just like, this is urgent, this is something that, needs to be addressed, and they pile through the movie with all these facts and stuff, but there's really nothing explored, so there's really no depth to this movie. It's just kind of like someone skimming across the surface and reaching to the finish line as fast as possible without actually exploring anything. Now, to go on to that energy and urgency, the cinematography and the editing and even the dialogue to some extent does kind of have this firecracker type of energy to it. It is very documentarian filmmaking, almost to a degree of slight shit he came with the cinematography, but it's a little bit more steady. But it does have a very fast pace to it, to where I was never bored. It was just more about the actual characters and the stories that really kind of bogged it down for me. But the actual filmmaking is not bad, and it kind of reminded me of The Big Short in a way, not near as good, but in a way to where I felt this urgency in the cinematography. I felt this kind of snap to the editing that just is really kind of alluring a little bit, and I really enjoyed, speaking of the dialogue, the performances from everybody. Hugh Jackman, pretty great. He's definitely not the star. It's more the supporting cast that's the star. Even with that special, appearance by Bill Burr, I didn't even know he was in this movie. But with a J.K. or like a Vera, it's just they are all so good. They actually make Hugh look better. And I'm not saying Hugh Jackman's a terrible actor, because he's not. He's got some acting chops for sure, and he's definitely one of my favorites out there. But he seemed a little miscast for this role, and he was giving his all, but everyone else was doing so much better around him that they were really doing the term that they're coined with, supporting. They supported him very thoroughly. But and also, speaking of Hugh Jackman, one of the major complaints about this movie is that why should you care? And this is about a man who seems like a two-faced politician. You know, he's kind of lying to people, and he had this affair. He's kind of really bad to his wife in that regard. So why should we follow him? Why should we care? I got to ask the same question. I wasn't really compelled to have an emotional connection towards him or even the chaos surrounding him. It's just when you're at the core of this like really bad hurricane, you can try to change my mind all you want and try to justify if the people should care about this or not, but in the end, you still cheated on your wife and you still are a bad person in my eyes. And I get why this story wanted to be told in terms of like what should the press do in terms of covering elections and the people running in it, and I get its importance in terms of how it changed the face of elections and politics, but you just don't care. I mean, the guy cheats on his wife. He tries to justify it in some weird way, and it's just, I don't know, it's just, a character that you're really like following, and of course, with Reitman not really going into anything or trying to say something, but he doesn't accomplish what he's doing. It's just, it makes it really hard to connect with you as an audience member, but the filmmaking itself is definitely the savior and the supporting actors at hand. So I'm going to give The Frontrunner a C. It's just kind of like down the middle. I have a lot of, negative complaints, have a lot of, positive compliments. So it's just, it's just one of those weird things to where I wouldn't really recommend it, but if you are curious about it, give it a watch and let me know down below what you thought of The Frontrunner. I just thought it was whatever. It was okay. So let me know down below what you thought of The Frontrunner, and I'm Chase Lee, and I will see you guys next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.